Hello?
Well, greetings and a most heartfelt salute. Whoa, how you doing again? Let's try that. Greetings and a most heartfelt salutations to everyone out there. This is I Stream You Stream. We are here talking about Master of the Universe Revelation episode 2. This is on the New York Nerd Show. I am Lord Cash. That is all that, Pat.
Howdy.
And we are super excited to talk to you about what's going on in the world of Netflix, a new animated series, Masters of the Universe Revelation. So we already talked about the pilot, the first episode of the series, and now we're going to give you our review of episode number 2. Now, just to give you the heads up warning, since this is a new series and not everyone has seen it, if you haven't seen it yet, there will be full spoilers ahead. So this is your official warning to turn back now, go back to Netflix land, and finish watching episode number 2 before you watch this one. Because, again, we are going to tell you things that you may not want to know.
Exactly. Like I said, you've been warned. And, I'm super excited to talk about episode 2. You can watch our previous episode, like Lord Cash just said, for episode number 1. I'm pumped. I'm super excited. The story hooked me in episode 1 for sure. And I am ready to continue to see how it develops because, episode 2 really explains to you as a viewer that we're going to be following Tila, particularly with this first episode, because she walked away from Castle Grayskull and all of her partners, so to speak, because she was so furious about not being involved in the secret that Prince Adam and He-Man were one and the same. So now she's going to do her own thing. As she's continuing to, still defend Eternia and figure out what's going on in the world. So we'll see in this episode that there are some still connections with the other characters that we've seen in the past, while seeing a really interesting, new religion or cult or whatever you want to call it, as Trapjaw and what's-his-face, Triclops are clearly like kind of the new guys in town, or at least for this episode. Lord Cash, what was going on with that? With them trying to make robot people, or what was that?
One of us.
Yeah.
Apparently with so in the first episode, Skeletor and He-Man, they battle.
Right.
And pretty much the orb of Eternia gets cracked and all of the magic gets released. And so in order to not get destroyed, He-Man takes his power sword and basically it gets all absorbed. When that happens, the power sword gets split into 2. The big reveal that Prince Adam is He-Man, but they pretty much, he gets killed and Skeletor gets killed, thus leaving a void, a ownership of Snake Mountain.
Yeah.
So basically, Tila and was it Andra?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what that character's name was because I don't believe it is a character from the classic. I think it's a new person jumping in.
She's a new character, voiced by I believe Tiffany Smith.
Okay.
And so with that, they get a mission to basically, they're kind of like almost for hire. It starts off with a little bit of a run-in with Stinkor, voiced by Jason Mewes, which I find amusing that the show is being created by Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
And your buddy, Jason Mewes. You do Jay and Silent Bob together. You're in, Mallrats. You're in Dogma. You've got all these movies together. You are best buds.
Right.
And what's amusing is, what do you get stuck with? What role? Hey, Kev. Hey, buddy. I want to be in your Master Universe series. Hey, can I do a voice for you? Sure. You can be Stinkor. What? Come on. Which again, I find that amusing.
Right.
So I love that, and basically they find this gauntlet or whatever, return it, and then there's this old woman that says, "Hey, I need this chalice that this magical chalice that's at Snake Mountain. Go get it for me." So they
Like,
show
we're
up,
still going there. There's like a bit of a, like, why is still Snake Mountain a thing still?
right, which is I love that that at the beginning of this episode you get a little flashback
Yeah.
to some of the time where Tila and He-Man were doing battle at Snake Mountain. So of course she knows her way around there because she's fought many a battle at Snake Mountain.
Yeah.
So trying to get in there, she's like, no problem. I can sneak in there with one hand tied behind my back. I blindfolded or whatever. I can get in there. No worries. But of course, once they get there, things are a little bit different. It's Snake Mountain is under new management.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So with that, you've got Triclops, who is like this head of this cult creature. Where again, you look at Triclops, you look at Trapjaw. They're very mechanical.
Yeah.
And so of course, why not? But they've got like this, what I would call this like nanobot soup type of a thing, where this villager is brought forth the council of the mechanics or whatever, and is basically willingly to drink this mechanical soupness to kind of evolve in life, so to speak. Exactly. Yum. So they did this, and of course the guy transformed, gets a little robot eye, which like literally pops out, and he's got little almost like a snake eye type of thing.
Yeah, thought that was interesting.
Which I thought was kind of cool. He gets like a little rips, a blade on his arm that pops out and everything. But yeah, it was just this interesting cult. You almost were wondering, okay, now that Skeletor's gone, what are all the goons, the lackeys? Who's going to take the void? When Scarface, I think he dies. I've never actually seen Scarface.
Shame God, I have no idea.
So listen, when a mob boss gets, killed or anything, someone fills the void,
I just got to point out, comparing Scarface to He-Man, no one on the internet is doing that. So make sure you watch our show for those great comparisons.
Well, I was referring, Skeletor to Scarface.
Oh, makes sense too. I just think it's funny.
Which again, I did not even mean for that. It was just I was thinking like, mob boss Scarface, he's popular.
Absolutely.
When you've got some sort of mob boss that goes away, that vacuum. Someone's got to. I feel like is Evil Lyn, is Trapjaw, is Triclops, is Beastman going to evolve their character to be the number one big bad? And so we see that Triclops essentially is the number one person when you got Whiplash and Trapjaw that are there as well. And I like Whiplash's new design where he's like all neon, little mechanical. So he looked kind of cool. I liked his design.
Yeah, me too. And in that same mentality, Tila did the same thing. Let's be real. I mean, she's, even though she's gone off, she's kind of taken the void of the need for a hero, in some ways on Eternia, because He-Man's gone. We'll see.
Yeah, it's one of those things where she's taken, certain odd ends jobs to rescue this. But again, at the end of the day, it's a paycheck. She's a for hire mercenary, so to speak.
Yeah,
a bounty hunter. I'm sure she would qualify under that type of thing where you need this item found and gotten. Let me go get it. You're going to pay me a bag of gems. Okay.
Now, did you see the swerve at the end of the old lady basically becoming Evil Lyn? Did you see that coming, or was that like
a mile away? How about yourself?
I didn't. And I'll be honest with you, I think I didn't see that only because I was so engrossed and focused on the robot religion, so to speak. Like you mentioned, the Triclops and everything. I was just so like, what's going to happen next? I expected more. The Andrea character, again, if I'm saying her name wrong, when she picked up a body part from somebody, I thought that would be more important, and maybe it will be. But she picked up the guy's arm. Thought that was kind of interesting that they didn't do much with that. And then they had that one like girl character that they were going to be rescuing, and she turns around, her head spins around like Exorcist style, arms split open, and whips came out. I didn't see that coming for sure either. I was just like, what the heck is going on here? I don't know. I'm digging this. I'm liking this series. I thought that episode, like, it really developed. Again, Triclops and Trapjaw in the old series, I don't know. I didn't get much from them, especially Triclops, but now he's like in a leadership position, at least for this episode. Skeletor being gone, like you said, gives an opportunity for other characters to have more of a focus of the episode, which again, I like that. And I was saying to, I think I said it to you and another friend of mine, like, I never collected the toys. I did when I was a kid, but now I want some of them, which Bit of Rich is like, hell no. We don't need anything else in this house. But I just, like you mentioned, Whiplash, the new design. I'm like, these are cool. I really like these. And they all stand out from each other. I'm really digging that.
The 2002 series that was on Cartoon Network. I have all of the those characters still in their boxes on the cardstock in a box in the house. So I might have to go find those and reminisce on them and see if maybe they've got a little value to them right now.
I'm curious, and put it in the chat. Whether you're watching us live now or later, if you like this show, does this go hand in hand with also collecting the toys? So, like, if you like the show, do you also collect the toys? Because I'm almost guessing that really hardcore Masters of the Universe fan are who make up a large percentage of this show.
Yeah, I'm one because I've looked at stuff like going to Target and Walmart or whatever. There really isn't a lot of toys out there. I know they did a launch of certain stuff of some of the toys, but they
I think that unfortunately this line is a scalper's paradise. Because I see the He-Man and Skeletor all the time.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Cringer a lot of the Revelation line, but there's a lot more out there, and I think there's just a lot of people that like buy them for themselves. But I do think there's a lot of people that are like, I'm going to buy 13 of these, and just because there's such a market out there.
Right. Yeah, I was looking at it and kind of just jumping over on some of the stuff that I'm only seeing like 4 characters. And actually, there might be the Cringer one from Revelation. Yeah. But you've got He-Man, Moss-Man, Skeletor, Evil-Lyn, and then of course Battle Cat. So it's there's not a lot of characters, especially some of these other ones where you've got Tila, who's a big component character. Andrea. So you've got these characters that you would think that there would be more, since you're kind of following these 2 characters. Then you'd see those, but not so much.
Yeah, I'll be curious, like I said, what we'll end up seeing in the show for sure. I mean, I haven't seen this packaging at all. Like I said, I saw Cringer and I saw that's it. Actually, I see a lot of the other ones that are just classics.
I would say don't go looking. If you haven't seen this series and all 5 episodes, I wouldn't be going looking too in depthly, because there's definitely a character figure that is kind of a little bit of a spoiler for episode 5. So just tread carefully.
Right. I mean, like I see this right here. Right. You see Evil-Lyn, He-Man, and Skeletor. I mean, look, He-Man and Skeletor are the great character designs and everything. I don't know, but I would be shocked if we don't see them come back. Even at the end of episode 2, very, very end, you see a guy in a cloak. He has a mustache now, but it's just literal like, he looks at the screen and then the credits roll. I'm assuming it is somebody of note. Perhaps it is He-Man. I don't know. Oh, by the way, it was this episode of the first episode. We didn't comment on this either way. Fakor was in it.
Yeah, that was in the
I
first
thought that was
episode.
pretty cool, actually. Was that this episode or the first
It
episode?
was the first one because that was the He-Man at the very beginning where you had the two goons were Skeletor and Evil Lyn in disguise, and then He-Man was Fakor, and he grabs the sorceress, I believe.
Yeah, because I thought that was actually a cool swerve when it's just like, because you have Prince Adam in one place at the same time that He-Man's at the other, and it was like one of those like, you're not really here. It's like, so I thought that was kind of cool. I just forgot about that right now. But ultimately, Lord Cash, you mentioned in our last review that episode 1 alone was okay, but it got better as you went. So did it get better in this episode for you? Oh, we didn't even talk about Evil Lyn. Before we go there, Evil Lyn becomes kind of a good guy, all right? Because Sorceress kind of gives her powers to Evil Lyn. Is that how I'm reading it?
So, yeah, basically, the Sorceress asked Evil Lyn to go track down Teela and get the chalice.
Yeah.
So the chalice basically is Skeletor's ram statue thing that's basically kind of in disguise, or so to speak. And so it has magical powers to it. And because of that, they're trying to bring back the magic to Eternia. And in order to do that, they have to basically get the power sword of power. And the one thing I liked is when they throw, like, Teela throws like a staff at trying to hit Evil Lyn, and Cringer jumps in, clamps down on it, and saves Evil Lyn.
Yeah.
Which I think is the most heroic thing that Cringer has ever done.
Well, he steps up and like really brings her back to focus too about she was so mad about He-Man basically about not knowing it and basically saying like, yeah, but he was your best friend.
Yeah.
You know, like Adam's friendship with you was not fake.
Yeah.
So
I enjoyed seeing that little heart-to-heart character talk that Cringer and Teela had. So I thought that was cool. But basically, they've got to find. I believe they mentioned in the second episode that they have to go to basically the Subternia. That they did mention that, right?
Yeah, Subternia and Preternia. They had mentioned a little bit. It kind of like, I'm assuming like a heaven and hell, more or less. Right. It sounds like.
So they deal with having to get both halves of the swords, and when they got split, the dark power sword went back to Subternia, and the good half went up to Preternia. So again, a heaven and hell type of a place. So that's kind of your next two episodes where they have to find these two halves.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting, evolution of the character. So that being said, episode 2 really set the storyline in motion.
Yeah, that's what I was gaining from it. Whereas like episode 1 closed up the original. Episode 2 is really going, okay, now we know the players. We know Evil Lyn's going to be part of it. We know that Teela is going to be part of it along with Andrea. And we know that now Sorceress, I think, is pretty much done. She doesn't die, but she literally just goes like, and I'm out. She's like, tag her in.
Whatever match she has remaining to Evil Lyn, her little, ball staff, to have extra magic to guide them on their way, to help them out. Yeah. So basically, they've got to, it's almost like the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
They've got to put away their differences so that way they can do the greater good for Eternia. Because again, magic is going away. Once the magic goes away, Eternia goes away. And once Eternia goes away, so does the rest of the universe. So there is a greater need out there than a petty, you're bad, I'm good, let's fight.
Right.
Your whole the existence of the universe is at stake here.
It's funny because you've seen them all, and
Yeah.
probably a lot of people that are watching us right now have seen all 5, and I've only seen 1 and 2. So you might get a chuckle on the inside, or like Evil Plan, who knows? I don't trust her, because when you first see Evil Lynn really appear, she's got Skeletor's staff, or at least the head of it. I'm gonna guess that he's not dead, and I think that she's just kind of like the Trojan horse. Maybe I could be way off. And if you guys watch any of our other shows, I have really terrible predictions. So we'll see. But anyway, I like I said, I liked it. I think this episode more than the first one, it's hard for me to even give a full review because I really know that this is going to connect to other things. I'd still say it's probably like a 7 or an 8. I was engaged the whole time. Well, I'm not engaged the whole time. I'm married the whole time. But no, I liked the episode still. I think it was good. And you as well, I'm assuming you still enjoyed it?
Yes. So like I said, because now the story, I now have I have a roadmap. I know where we're wanting to go in this series, in these episodes. What is our kind of our end goal, so to speak? At least what they've laid out in episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with this. I liked, as I said, as this series of more episodes I watch, I get more and more. So they're just a little bit more engaging, a little bit more better because more things are revealed. So
Okay.
episode 2, I give it a good solid 8, maybe 8.5. That they're only going to get that much better for me.
Perfect. Yeah, I can't wait to look at the rest of them. We'll do more reviews, maybe like a whole, kit and caboodle too. As you're watching us, we do appreciate it for sure. We have a lot of different shows, including our iStream, Ustreams, and like Lord Cash said before, it's kind of a special one, right? And if you're a subscriber to our network or of our channel, you would have known, you would see it pop up on your notification devices, whatever that might be. Friday is typically our Funko Royalty, which tonight, Lord Cash, what was the series of Funko Royalty that everybody will be seeing tonight?
So I've got a box from Pop in a Box where I've got 6 curated from them off of my wish list. So we are going to open that box and dive in to see what mystery ones they've sent me this month.
Nice. And tomorrow we're going to be doing mail call mail time, and also that's going to be a Fallout box, I believe, right?
Yeah, so from Loot Crate, they have one of their themed boxes is from the Fallout world, and where I've got a box for that we're going to go and open up and show what's all the contents inside. I have zero knowledge of what's in it. I am not a Fallout follower. I have someone in my household, and they are my resident Fallout expert. So they will be joining us tomorrow. I just need to tell them that we're going to be borrowing them for their expertise.
And Sunday we have Call the Wild, getting stuff out in the wild, like not in the forest or the woods. Although if we could find a Nintendo system out in the middle of Central Park's woods, that'd be awesome. But I know Bitterritz and myself have gotten a lot of video games lately out at different stores and conventions. So we'll take a look at things that we've all picked up. Monday is Crazy Card Collecting. Slam Nation Wrestling will hit you up on Tuesday. Game Room Wednesday, Thursday, iStream, Ustream. Kind of like today, but special. And that's about it. We got a lot of stuff going on in the world of New York Nerd Show. All right, Lord Cash, thank you so much for putting this together. Big fan of your work and big fan of Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, it's always a good time. Love talking about the streaming world, whether it is on HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. There's a whole bunch of this right now is a great time. They are just dropping shows left and right. There's the new Schmigadoon on Apple TV, which is hilarious. You've got the new Turner and Hooch on Disney Plus. You've got the Masters of the Universe Revelation on Netflix. So there is something. And Ted Lasso just episode 1 dropped today on Apple TV, which is a huge following on that one. I binged all of the first season right after each other, so definitely sucked me in. So I'm gonna have to watch the first episode of that to see what's happened in season 2. So yeah, there's just all sorts of stuff right now. August is going to be going to be huge. I almost imagine we've got the new What If series dropping on Disney Plus next month. It's going to be great. I love that the way that we've come to the streaming world. There's just so much content out there, so many choices, and I know it can be overwhelming, but if you are just a content absorber like myself, it's beautiful. It makes me want to cry.
It's too hot outside too, so stay cool inside watching some TV.
Exactly. So on behalf of all that, Pat and myself, Lord Cash, we do thank you for joining us here. Please like and subscribe to the New York Nerd Show, whether it's on Twitch, YouTube, or on Facebook. Spread the word of the nerd. Tell your family and friends about us, because we like the love and we like to be loved in return. So until next time, if you can stream it, go watch it. Bye-bye, everybody.
Adios.
Hello.